These days, however, I find myself playing therapist. A therapist for young designers, giving them a shoulder to lean on, giving them a shoulder to cry on. So, when 2 weeks ago, I was invited to speak at TEDx IIT Roorkee, I was a little surprised. Like this, little in disbelief. I did not reply to the email for a whole day, and I told nobody about it. Did the organizers really want me to speak here? I looked at some of the past speakers. I mean, awesome five guys. Sharon Prabhakar, Ankur, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, and Sam Agnihotri. Really great guys. And seriously speaking, I did not stand up to the stature of some of these guys. You see, I am a UX designer. And 20 years ago, when I started out in UX design, this was a field that was not known at all. Today, there are a lot of jobs out there for UX, UI design and everything. People know a lot about it. Those days, only a few old men like Don Norman talked about it. And very few companies actually practiced it. And even where it was practiced, it was mostly an afterthought. We were called in, metaphorically speaking, to put lipstick on a pig. The pig, oh yeah, just make it look better. Last moment, this is the design, and just make it look better. So even today, actually, I carry within me those scars. It's difficult for me to see myself as somebody important, somebody who can actually be addressing a TEDx audience over here. But then the organizers called me, and they explained to me that when they looked at the list of speakers, there was no designer on it. This, after all, is a TED event, technology, entertainment, design. Arey, ek to designer hona chahiye. So then last moment, they called me up. And I was actually pretty happy. You see, UX is still a bit of a footnote. It's an afterthought. but then, thank you. But then UX, I mean, seriously, really thank you for thinking about UX, And really thank you, because there are these wonderful folks over here at IIT Roorkee who have this design studio, and it's really wonderful to see what you guys are doing. And UX has come a long way. From the 20 years ago when we started off, very few people knowing about it, to today. And so have I. These days, I lead design at PhonePe. PhonePe is one of India's largest payment platforms. It's got about 150 million users. About 65 million of them use the app every day, every month. And that leads to about 380 million transactions. But then these are numbers that the engineers and the business folk like to talk about. Engineers use these numbers to talk about platform scalability. And the business folk, they just love these numbers. It talks about growth, it talks about revenue, and it talks about a potential IPO. But as designers, we don't deal with these numbers. It's too much for us. We deal with the softer side of things. We deal with empathy. We are called in to look for unmet needs. We look at usability, accessibility, inclusivity. These are actually all things that nobody else in the organization wants to touch, even with a barge pole. But then, when it comes to the design output, pretty much everybody has an opinion on it. After all, we are the bike shed when it comes to software engineering. You guys know about the bike shed? You guys know about Parkinson's law of triviality? No? Okay, let me tell you a story about it. Once upon a time, there was this board meeting that was convened to pass the budget for a nuclear reactor. This was a very complicated building, a lot of complex machinery was being built. And the budget for this was way upward of $500 million. And the board members, very few of them actually were nuclear scientists, so they did not understand what it actually meant in this case. All that, it was an important project. So in about 15 minutes, the budget for the nuclear reactor was passed. But then there was this bike shed that was being built outside the gate. And the committee spent 45 minutes discussing on the color of the bike shed. UX is that bike shed. 20 years designing bike sheds, not an easy job. But it's actually been a fun journey. And in the last 20 years, there have been these three traits that I found have helped me. And these are the three traits that I want to share with you today. But truth be told, I did not always want to become a UX designer. While growing up, I wanted to become a rocket scientist. However, I ended up becoming a mechanical engineer. And I was studying engineering at this college on the outskirts of Mumbai. And 1 year into the course, I don't know how many of you have gone through this, but I was disillusioned. I wanted to drop out. But क्या करे, middle class Indian mentality, बेटा तो graduate होना चाहिए. So I had to carry on. And then I thought, what else was I interested in? I had to find a creative let out for myself. I love to write. So I found myself an internship position at a small advertising agency. And while at college, I started making these posters for the Mechanical Engineering Students Association. So 4 years later, by the time I graduated, I had this degree, second class with honors, and also a portfolio that helped me get into India's fourth largest advertising agency at that time, FCB Ulka. Yes, I had made it. No, this is exactly what I wanted. Fun times, unbound creativity. And then 4 years later, I had worked on some of India's best known brands. I had moved on to become a senior writer at India's most creative agency, O&M, and I had been shortlisted for a number of awards. But then I found that my interest was dwindling. And one of the main reasons for that was the internet. No, I was not addicted to watching videos over YouTube. In fact, YouTube didn't even exist in those days. You see, I joined advertising in the year 1995. And in that year, on Independence Day, the internet actually became available to the whole of India. And for the very first time that I had access to the internet at Ulka where I worked, I was blown away. There was this browser called Mosaic that made everything on the internet accessible through a portal called Yahoo, a magic portal. Little did I realize at that time that years later I will actually be working for Yahoo. I may not have realized that, but I realized that the internet was special. I believe I had foresight. And this is the first trait that has helped me over the years. But then foresight is not an, but then the design that existed in those days was not really up to the mark. You know, if you look at Wired, which is the cutting edge of design, looked something like this. Not a pretty sight. But then in 1996, a company by the name of Macromedia released a software called Flash. Oh, sorry, not this Flash, this one. So Flash made these animations that were extremely lightweight, and it loaded almost instantly, even in those days of slow internet. And I was fascinated. I just wanted to learn Flash, so I downloaded a trial version of Flash, and I got to teach myself Flash. Now, like I told, this was days before YouTube. So if somebody told you that they were self-taught, it actually meant self-taught. So I had to go through the manuals and understand how to do the stuff. And I was doing all this stuff on Flash, learning what to do, that I did not realize how the time flew. It was already 1 month, and my trial was about to get over. And at that time, I knew I had to give the trial up because I could not afford the software. I hardly made like 4,000 rupees a month. Buying anything online was not possible, and getting foreign exchange in those days was a nightmare. So I did what pretty much everybody in my circumstances, when you had no options, would have done. No, I did not do anything illegal. I just kept the computer on. I thought the next day I will get a pop-up that said, your trial has expired, go find something better to do in life. It didn't happen. Actually, the next day I thought it will come, and it didn't happen. That kept happening for about a month. For a month, I had this trial, which was a 1 month trial, and I was using it for the second month, learning all the stuff about Flash. And by the end of the second month, I had learned enough about Flash. I also had a very hot computer, so I had to shut it down. But then, Flash became a very important part of Web 2.0. And my foresight really paid off. But then foresight is a very difficult trait to learn. And really speaking, it is not enough. Along with foresight, you need flexibility to adapt to the changes that you foresee. In my case, I had to move on from becoming a copywriter to becoming a designer. So I took on more design assignments. I created for myself a design portfolio, and I got myself a design degree. And in less than 5 years after I had downloaded that first version of Flash, I found myself working for a Bay Area startup that was building a cutting-edge software for presentation and conferencing, and it was completely built in Flash. That small bet that I took paid off for me, but only because I had the flexibility to move on and act upon that foresight. So this is the second trait that has helped me, flexibility. The third and the most important trait that has helped me is self-awareness. Knowing your pluses and minuses, your strengths and weaknesses is very important. In those days, when I was working in the Bay Area startup, I used to code as well. You know, some of you might call me a unicorn. I would do the coding, I would do the prototyping, I would do actual production code. But then, you know, in those days, technology was nascent. So it was far more common for designers to write some code. But then as the technology progressed and it became more matured, I found it very difficult to balance both coding and design. So even though I loved it, at one point I had the self-awareness to give up coding and concentrate solely on design. But then that is one small part of self-awareness. The other important part of self-awareness is what I call overcoming attachment. You see, if as a designer you get too attached to your design, it gets in the way of your achieving greatness. You could have come up with something better, but then that critique of the design, you take it as though it is a critique of your standing as a designer. And there are very few designers I have found who are humble and self-assured. And in my personal experience, I have found the practice of mindfulness has helped me. Mindfulness has helped me become more self-aware. It has also helped me become more flexible. And to some extent, it has helped me gain intuition, which helped in foresight. But all of this put together has helped me gain confidence. Confidence to moving beyond putting lipstick on the pig, confidence to do the right thing, confidence to achieve the right results. So, there you have it. These are the three traits: foresight, flexibility, and self-awareness. If there are amongst you people who want to take up this journey like myself, these three traits will definitely serve you well. Thank you.